We're in Give Back October, ladies and gentlemen, and that means that we're going to be talking to people that don't necessarily have as much fame as you would normally see on the show. Fame being a relative term here because none of these people are really famous. They're all just like FPV famous, which isn't even like YouTube famous. Anyways, there's so many levels of fame. Today we're talking to Erin Paul, who is a badass, and Mike Chin, who is a little bit risk averse. And we get to hear about what their relationship that centers around FPV is like. And honestly, this is one of my favorite segments I think I've ever recorded. It's fun, it's engaging, and really honestly, I hope you guys like it as much as I enjoyed filming it. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. So, folks, we've been talking to Mike Chin for a while, but really, honestly, this entire time, we really just wanted to get to Erin Paul. And it really, I mean, Mike is kind of like the sideshow, the beginning of the thing, but Erin is the main show. So how are you doing today?
Doing great, man. Yeah, I'm happy to be chatting with you. We always joke that we're gonna run this scheme where it's actually I'm the one doing all the customer support. Mike is just the face man. So it's really me. I'm the mastermind behind it all.
Yeah.
So.
He would be a terrible face man.
That's why I took a picture of their aisle where I'm like holding the solder iron by like the hot part
right.
while she's like building a drone next to me. I'm like,
yeah. So now you two are one of a very few set of couples that fly together. Tell me, what is it like to have a relationship around something as obsessive as FPV?
You should see our house. It's like a giant workshop. Like instead of a like kitchen counter, it's like a build table. You know what I mean? Like there's like drone parts like I can look around here and see like 7 drones.
Yeah. It started out, we have a 2-bedroom house and then a nice open area, living room, dining room, all that. And it started out, the build room was in the back room there. Mm-hmm. And then it slowly started, coming out, and the kitchen counter turned into the entire build table. And then we're like, just why constrain it to one room? So, I mean, there are drones everywhere. Like, it's everywhere. And it's great. I don't know. It's nice we don't have to worry about, like, I have projects out there that I've been building for weeks, and like, he's never going to be like, can you clean that up, or anything like that. And vice versa. So. Yeah, it's cool. I don't know.
She's full of crap. She hid my stuff. I had a UFL to SMA, and she likes to pick up or hide my stuff.
I have to keep a clean house.
And, dude, I could not find that freaking UFL anywhere. I like tore that room apart. Like I had a temper tantrum and knocked everything off the shelving unit, like everything. Where I'm like, dude, this is somewhere, and I still didn't find it.
Trying to find a UFL in a haystack. Yeah, it was tough.
So how many drones do you think you two have between the two of you in some various state of repair?
Okay, a bunch. I usually only have 2 rigs that I fly, like 2 5-inch rigs. And that's like it. That's all I maintain because otherwise it gets too much and gets crazy. But like because of TBS, I have like a Vendetta out there, I think, and like. And then this cube that I just bought recently, the little toothpick guy.
Yeah, those are a lot of fun.
But like, I mean, how many? You only run like 2, don't you?
Well, I have like my main quad, and then I try to have a backup when I can. Always, like a tiny whoop or alien whoop.
Yeah.
Like you said, we just got these cubes.
If we're counting tiny whoops, there's so many tiny whoops over there. That like, tiny whoops are because I have like we both have an alien whoop. We both have a tiny whoop racer. We both have a B-brain, so that's right there, like 6. You know what I mean? The like regular drones, we both probably only keep like 2 of those each.
Yeah, working, but in various states of repair. At least we have a fair amount of frames here too. So, yeah, just the whole house is littered with quad parts and stuff. So
I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that personally.
Same priorities,
It's pretty sweet.
I will say my wife is not even able to watch my footage. She gets motion sick when she watches drone flights, and so it's not anything that she and I can share together. But I am building with my sons right now. So I'm looking forward to some family time in the air. I'm looking forward to it. And specifically, they've got their own controllers now. They've got their own goggles. They've got their own drones. And if they break their own stuff, then they can fix it too. So
yeah, I think that's important. Like, you know, especially with kids, to like teach them how to work on stuff. Like, we went to the sand dunes. Like, it's been like a couple weeks now, but this really nice family. They had a couple daughters. And they gave us a ride in their dune buggy. But I was chatting with the mom for a while. She's a school teacher as well. And so when they go out there, inevitably, like, your truck is going to break down. Something might happen to it. You know, you're like banging it all day over these hills and sand. So when things go wrong in the truck, she's saying that they teach their daughters how to fix it. You know, I mean, their daughters were like 9 and 7. They're still pretty young. I was like, that's awesome. Like, right. I mean, why not like take that opportunity to teach them something versus just like, oh, sit around till dad fixes it. Like, I was like, good job, mom. Like, good job. You know, like, that's awesome. So I think that's great. Like, when you're teaching kids and stuff, and like you said, if they break it, like, they're going to learn how to fix it. And it's a useful thing. It's well beyond FPV. It's just a good life learning, you know, hack trait.
It is a good life skill.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I like Fest too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, I was just saying that's kind of why I like Flight Fest too, because it's all like dads between my age and like 45, 50, and their kids, teaching them how to, like, you know what I mean? Like, teaching them how to, like, build these things and then take them out of the tent and fly them up, like, you know what I mean? It's like teaching them how to build little robots. I like it.
It's a cool experience. If have you ever gone to Flight Fest or had the chance to? Or
you know what, I have not. And Trappy was actually trying to convince me to go to IO this year, and because he was like, man, you need to go, like, I would love to meet you face to face. And I haven't had a chance to go, but I think I'm going to try to make it a priority next year. Probably get to IO.
Dude, I don't go to any of those events to fly. I really don't. Like, at IO, I flew a total of like 20 Mavic packs, but like 3 drone packs, and all 3 of them were like screwing around. Like, it's like me and Wombat taping a smoke bomb to mine and like taking it out on the track like at the end of the day, and like that was so funny. Like, I may have upset Lexi Jansen's whole team.
Oh no!
No, that was pretty bad. Like, it was all right. So it was real quick side story. It was after hours. Like, the track had closed down. Okay, like, there's no more timing system. So I figured, like,
free for all.
Yeah, like, we're going for some shenanigans, right? And like, I walk over with like my Fusion with a fat like 5-minute smoke bomb taped to the bottom, and I like show it to their team before we take off. I'm like, hey, I'm going up with a smoke bomb, but I think there was some language barrier stuff going on, and they didn't really see what I was doing, or didn't really like, they weren't really like, whatever, you know, screw that. So I like take off, and Lexi like thought there was a fire, and I just hear like midway, like, she's like, big fire on track, big fire on track, and I'm like, no, and they all like landed because they like thought my drone was on fire, and like,
you're like, that's the biggest BSC fire ever.
And they're all in like team shirts, like looking all professional, and I'm out there in like, I'm camping, so I'm in like shorts and like barefoot probably. Like, you have Wombat out there with his like crazy mustache, like trying to flip the drone over that I can take back off, and like we look like idiots.
That's
like,
awesome.
After hours, you know, some people are still focusing on the laps, you know, and getting that extra practice time in right before the sun goes down, and Mike's like, I'm gonna go do the smoke bomb.
Yeah,
right.
I was actually I read that story about the Navy pilot who drew the giant in the air. So I was trying to do that, but it's really hard with an FPV drone and a smoke bomb that doesn't really leave like that much of a trail.
There's a bit of wind that day too, so it would have been challenging. You know, most of the smoke was drifting on. But,
I did get one, and then the up, but the down was pretty hard.
Yeah.
Well, that gives you something to focus on next year.
Yeah, if like you split S into it and then go up and then like do like an arch dive and then a power loop, it should work. Was the plan, but it's really hard to judge the distances in an FPV cam.
Aaron, do you put as much thought into drawing smoked penises as Mike does?
When I go to events are great because not only do you get friends, but I go to like, I don't take racing seriously at all, but I like it. I like the competitiveness when I'm there. So I race. Like, I'm not so much at IO, but I got a ton of packs in at Flight Fest. It was great.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't. She's not trying to draw smoke dicks. She's trying to like get laps done.
Yeah, I'm there to race, and hang. And it's great meeting people too. Like, for example, other FPV couples. The first time I went to IO was 2 years ago, and got to meet Nick and Nicole there. So that was cool. Like, it's always nice meeting another fellow FPV lady. There aren't many of us out there, but
are not
more and
many
more.
of you. Yeah.
But yeah, it was great to like meet them in person, and it was like Sunday after the whole event was over, and still they had the gates up on the World Cup track, and so it was us and who else? Some other people from Canada, and we were just out there racing for fun, and it was it was just super fun. Just
I didn't do World Cup track either year. Like I just was like, nah. Like
I was like, I need to finish at least one lap, and like, so yeah.
I don't even know what the world. I could probably like figure it out because I like watching racing. Like I like watching Thomas Bitmata crush it. Mm-hmm. I hate racing. Like I hate partaking in racing. So like so like I don't even know what the track was this year. She did it a bunch though.
It was fun. Yeah, I was a channel buddy with Kang Ma as well, Sean Taylor's wife, and she's a great pilot. Great person. Got to meet them for the first time. They're another amazing FPV couple. She is lovely, just absolutely lovely. So yeah, it was really cool, and just getting to meet her, and yeah, I don't know, someone to look up to too. She's a great pilot. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I highly recommend the events, man. You should go next year.
So I think I'm gonna have to make some time and some budget for it, but definitely. Which one of you, when you walked on to IO, was the real rock star?
Neither,
but this guy, if anything,
and what I say is like, which one of you like were people like, oh man, I just met Mike Chin, or oh man, I just met Aaron Paul?
I have no clue.
All the way, nobody knows me. But this guy, just also too, because he knows everything. I don't know. It's one of the things I really admire a lot about Mike is he can figure out anything, and he's always like the go-to guy. Like when people have something wrong, like you should see how many messages like he deals with a day, like constantly. It's like, oh, like something is broken, and like, dude, I'm like, how do you retain all of this? How do you even know all of this? And oh yeah, it's just that, like what the heck? So yeah, I don't know. I admire that a lot about Google. For sure.
I'm just good at Google.
His Google foo is very strong. Yes.
If people could get good at Google, I wouldn't have a job.
But yeah, this guy is the popular one. He knows everything.
So I think you guys have already answered it, but which one of you is more serious about flying?
Probably me.
Yeah, probably her.
Okay.
But he's the better pilot, I'd say. He's like a Jedi. I try and I crash over and over. Like, I get a lot of exercise flying quads because I'm crashing all the time and constantly have to walk out there. Mm-hmm. And he's like a Jedi, man. Like, I don't even get it.
I don't crash.
I've seen him crash probably twice.
I don't know why. And maybe I just don't push it hard enough is what people say, but I just I don't crash. I like can figure out ways to get out of like the worst situation ever. I don't like. And it really is probably because I don't push hard enough, but like, I maybe walk like once a month to go get a quad.
Seriously?
Yeah.
How often do y'all fly together?
How often?
Yeah, how often do y'all fly together?
Lately, it hasn't been as often, but I don't know.
We used like every week or two, we go out and fly. Like now that we have these cubes, we fly the yard a bunch. But like, I don't know, like. The place that I live is kind of boring to fly, and I get sick of this. I get sick of doing the same thing at the same spot over and over and over again. So like, I don't know, it's like we'll go out, we'll like drive up to the dunes to go fly for a day instead. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that kind of takes some time to do. And then we like when we get out there, we fly like a shitload of packs and camp out for the night. But then like we'll go a week where we just don't really fly, and I just answer support tickets.
Yeah, I'd say if anything, I'm constantly, because I know he gets like bored with spots, so I'm constantly trying to like scout out new spots, and like I'll send him screenshots, like, oh, like I took a picture of, there's this new building being built, so like a brand new Brando. Anyway, yeah.
I like
so
it.
I was like, fly
We're
here,
coining
like,
a term, Brando.
Yeah. And so, like, I'll try to find new spots. Like, I'd say I'm probably more of the driving force. Like, do you want to go fly? Like,
yeah, she
something.
is. She drags me into the house sometimes. Like, I love flying, but like I feel like I want to do something new when I fly every time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I want to like hit a new spot, like.
Yeah, like going to the same field over and over again.
Even like we have like 600-foot like smokestacks over here, and we've flown them like once because after I've done it once, I'm like,
for yourself, buddy. No, no, they're awesome. Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
So how many tiny whoop races happen around the house?
Not much actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be. I probably shouldn't say that. I haven't flown a tiny whoop in a long ass time. I like, because, and the reason being is because like when I go to an event, okay, and we have set up like the really cool tiny, like I fly like the Tiny Whoop Invitational and I go really hard. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like when I go to like, let's say International Open or Flight Fest, there's a lot of kids there who have never got to fly anything like that. You know what I mean? They've never got to like experience like that cool thing. And I don't want to take their track time. I don't want to take like the time that they would get to fly. You know what I mean? Like, because like I can do it at my house, or I can, once a year I get to go to Tiny Whoop headquarters and really like do a crazy course. But like that one kid, that's his Tiny Whoop Invitational. You know what I mean? That's gonna be the coolest thing. He gets to fly with a Tiny Whoop for a year. So I don't like to take that from him. I don't want to like take that channel spot. I'd rather just let the kid or the dude who gets to go to one event a year do the, get as much time as he can there.
So underneath that trolley skin rests a very sensitive heart, is what you're saying. Nobody tell anybody. Mike Chin's got a sensitive spot.
Like,
it's really a cupcake inside.
You know what I mean, though? Like, if you get the opportunity, like, because I've done, like, I used to work for, like, DR1. So I've done, like, where we did, like, the Dell conference, and we got to, like, do all this crazy, like, set up this crazy course for people to fly, and, like, I got to do the DR1, like, micro series that never aired, where we get to fly through, like, one of the ships from frickin' Firefly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's, like, cool stuff that other people don't get to do. So when we bring the giant, like, you've probably seen the Tiny Whoop stuff that Jesse brings out. Like, he goes all out at the events. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't want to, like, there's people don't get to do that often. I don't want to take their stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to, like, take that experience away from them to, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go fly, like, 100 packs on it. And then, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Get out the way, little kid.
Yeah, get like, hey, it's my channel spot. Like, dude, there's a line. There's a line. Like, I don't know what you're doing. Like,
right.
That's why, like, IO at the race. Like, I don't like to run the World Cup track. There's people there who, like, they saved a lot of fucking money to go to that thing. Like, they get to go to that, and, like, that World Cup track is, like, that's their highlight of their year. I don't care about racing, so why am I going to get in that line and take someone else's, like, either practice time or experience time? You know what I mean? Like,
he was very sweet. He played a very critical food support role this year, though, because the pits were about like 5-6 deep at times, and so like I'm just standing there for a while and just like dying. He'd bring me food, like, oh, you're
go
the
back,
best.
hang out.
You're the best. Thank you.
That's awesome. All right, so my last question for both of you, and this one's a tough one, is have there ever been any fights that started around FPV?
I don't think so.
No.
No.
All right.
We're both pretty like. No, it's like.
I mean, you both seem pretty chill for the most part.
We share batteries. Like, if anything, it's like I'm like, why did you do that? Like, she. I guess that's somewhat. All right. So you went to like dive. All right. There's like this abandoned train thing down there, like down the way, and it's like tall and cool to fly, but like. First pack, I hear, I'm like, what was that? And like, I take my goggles off, and she's like stuck on the top. And I'm like, what are you doing?
I was like, just trying to hit this hole there in between the wall and the staircase, and it was, yeah.
And I'm like,
bad idea.
So the fight was, she wanted to climb up this thing, like 65 feet up to get a drone, and I'm like, dude, it is not worth it. Like, don't, just leave it. Like, we'll build you a new one. We'll figure out a way to get you a new one. Like, screw that. And like,
and I'm like, I
fall asleep for the night. And I wake up at like noon, and she's got her drone in her hand because she went out to like Lowe's and like rented a ladder and carried that thing like all the way out there, like down this freaking railroad track to then climb up like 60 feet in the air and climb up this like rope to go get her drone. And I didn't like that.
Oh,
like, I'm like, dude, it's not.
It was fun. It was fine. It was, you know.
Her legs are all bruised up from it. And it's like, I'm like, dude, like, don't risk your life for a stuck drone. Like, just leave it. Like, we'll figure something out. It didn't even have a GoPro on. It didn't even have a GoPro.
Come on, Erin.
It was a naked drone.
It was my baby.
It was like a used fusion frame, like stuck up on a stupid spot. Like, you just, at that point, it's like, what's a flight controller? Like $40, $50, $40? I don't know.
I assessed the situation. I was like, it just needs an extension ladder, some rope to throw over that part.
Oh,
I even had
forgot
like
about
redundancies with the rope, so that way if it did fail,
Dude,
I had two redundancies for it.
It was just a ladder.
Okay.
She took a rope and then tied a railroad spike to it. She ties a railroad spike to this rope, throws it over a rusty frickin' like handrail, and ties it off to then pull herself up like another 20 feet to then get onto this spot that you're not supposed to be. Like,
it was a fun time, you know.
It's so dangerous.
I like climbing, so.
So dangerous.
So, which one of you is more risk averse?
Oh, averse?
Yeah, her.
I
for
mean,
sure.
you just climbed up a 60-foot. That doesn't sound very risk averse to me.
Oh,
Yeah,
like no, I was just saying, I'm against the risk. Like, if like something gets lost, like it's lost. I'm not gonna like.
He is the safe guy, the practical, pragmatical guy, you know, like logical, and I'm like, let's do it. Like, I'm the crazy one, probably.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you both for being on the show. I really appreciate it. This was a really fun segment. And so where can folks find both of you?
I'm on like Facebook, YouTube, I guess Instagram. I don't use my Instagram really.
Okay.
Just like, and I don't really use my YouTube unless it's to like fix a problem. So pretty much Facebook or customer support. Submit a ticket, please. Just submit a ticket.
Just submit a ticket.
Yeah.
And then Erin, where can folks find you?
I'm active on Facebook. Yeah, I mean, Erin Paul. Samus FPV is my pilot name, and Fish Feet Lady is my Instagram. But I'm not really going for. I make videos for myself, so I'm just more to hey. I'm Erin.
She flies
Paul.
without a GoPro most of the time. Like, she's just flying to fly.
Yeah, so you know, I'm active on Facebook. Come say hi, for sure.
That's awesome. Well, thank you both for being on. Thank you for taking time out of your day.
Having us, yeah. Nice to chat with you, for sure.
Definitely nice to chat with you. And with that, folks, we will see you very soon.
So the secret that you're not supposed to know is that Mike Chin, while he appears to be a badass on the internet, is actually just a big old softy, and he doesn't even want to kick kids out of line like the mean, awful person he should be running support in order for him to be able to fly, because those kids are getting a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and he recognizes that. And since he recognizes that, he won't take their place. Anyways, hats off to Mike. Hats off to Erin. This was one of my favorite interview segments of all time. Next up, you're going to hear from Mike, just Mike himself, unfortunately. Erin is only in this part of the video. But we're going to talk about what it's like to run support, what support looks like for Mike, and I think that you're going to enjoy it. Once again, we're in Give Back October. So Mike is the first of Give Back October. He is known to a degree. He's got a little bit of notoriety. But the guy works tirelessly behind the scenes to support Tiny Whoop, Heli Nation, and TBS. That is a huge amount of work, and he does it tirelessly and seemingly without complaint.
I really have enjoyed having Erin on. That was a lot of fun. We certainly don't get to hear from her enough at all. And this is Welcome to Give Back October, folks. This is going to be fun. I'd like to thank my patrons. You guys have been an awesome source of inspiration recently. I really appreciate all that you do. If you'd like to be a patron, you can check out the link in the description below. And with that, let's get on to the next one.